It seems that these days everyone has a podcast, and I'm no exception. This is the David Wells Experiment, and I'm David Wells. But you probably knew that when you clicked on this. So I technically don't even need to do this podcast because I've got so many scheduled all the way up until, what is it? I believe August the 8th. Couple weeks ago I decided to upload a bunch of things. Some of them got really repetitive, but I felt like I kind of had to in order to keep the momentum going. So as it currently stands, I've got I've got about an hour left of AI filter stuff. So I'm either going to have to sparse out all that time so I can do a couple more, or just, I could also probably maybe even just buy some more time until the next time it refreshes. Who knows? I kind of just didn't do anything for a week or so, but I don't know. We'll just play it by ear. I think the one time I wouldn't filter it is the audio, is if I wanted you to hear where I was at. And the only time I would think of that is with the cicadas. I probably need to do that before, they go out of season, because as soon as summer ends, they kind of go too. But anyway, I was about to say Dunkirk. I saw Oppenheimer. So when it comes down to the whole Barbie versus Oppenheimer thing, I saw Oppenheimer first. Maybe I'll go see Barbie today. I don't know. But anyway, Oppenheimer was a great movie. Yeah. And apparently it did really well. It did. People were expecting it to do 40 million this whole weekend, and it exceeded it with 85 million. That is really good for, it's an R-rated film. It's not part of a franchise. It is R-rated, so it's limited in who can just go and buy a ticket. But I got out of work the other day, and I'm like, you know what, I think I want to go see it. So I bought a ticket online, went there, and I got home closer to 1 a.m. So yeah, it was really good. Like a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, I'll admit, there were moments where I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can follow this. But I'm like, you're so intrigued that even if you don't necessarily get something, you just go along for it. And I couldn't have had a different experience with House of Gucci. House of Gucci, I was I wanted to like the movie. I really wanted to like it. But I felt like its biggest problem was the script. Because towards the end of the movie, I'm kind of checking my phone, how much more? Excuse me. Anyway, so yeah, saw that. It was great. And I sat in the second closest row to the screen. I was going to say that wasn't by design. Well, it sort of was. I sort of wanted to... I got to a point where I was like, okay, I can either sit at the very front, or I can the only other seats really available were like kind of far away, and I'm like, I remember the last couple times where I had to sit up close. I'm like, it wasn't that bad, so that was cool. Um, and it doesn't feel like a 3 hour movie. I'm sure you'll hear this from other people, but didn't feel like a 3 hour movie. Went by really just rapid pace. And I afterwards I wound up drawing like a lot of pictures of Oppenheimer. Like I just get out my pencil, my dry erase marker, and I doodle something related, either of Oppenheimer himself or Cillian Murphy as him. Um, yeah, that's just what I felt like drawing. So, yeah, one reason why I kind of got back to doing a podcast. Well, I'm not slipped away, but um, I was doing podcasts at a breakneck speed last couple weeks, and this last week, not so much. Partially because I was running out of AI stuff, and so I was like, okay, maybe hold off. But I kind of felt like I was sort of starting to lose that fire I had, or like had kind of gotten back, and I'm like, you need to do a podcast, you need to do a podcast. And it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I do, but I'm running out of, I've got to wait for the AI to reset. So it's like, okay, but at the same time I was like kind of dying on the inside. That feels like too strong of a word, but it's the best word I can come up with at the moment. So anyway, I wonder what Barbie's going to be like. I saw that Ben Shapiro hated it, so I'm like, okay, that must mean it's hysterical. Um, but anyway, oh, I ordered a new laptop because I really want to get into real estate photography and or other forms of photography. And yeah, my computer, the one that I'm using right now, when it comes to doing stuff like that, it is horrendously slow. And the other day, me and my uncle were hanging out, and he looked up laptops for me that were good. And one of the things that like just blew my mind was the fact that there is the one I wound up getting. I looked at the specs, and it had 20 gigs of RAM. I'm like, 20 gigs, and the price was just like astounding. I was like, holy cow, how is that? It kind of made me feel like, is there some catch here? But he was like, my uncle knows computers, so he was like, yeah, like, it'll work. And I'm like, dang. I was always kind of, it's funny, I remember when tablets were, well, before they became a thing. Before that, there were like these little like net PC or net laptops. They're basically like miniaturized laptops, which were just for browsing the web, looking up YouTube videos. You couldn't really do any heavy duty stuff on them. And yeah, probably one reason why I never got them. Those were quickly done away with as soon as tablets, even like the first gen ones that weren't great, but they served their purpose, and those ones only got better. But there was a brief period, I want to say for 2 or 3 years, where like little netbooks, everybody knew at least one person who had them. Thank goodness I never got one. I mean, they were small and portable enough to carry around, but they were really for consumption. You couldn't really make anything on them. Speaking of podcasts, well, not podcasts, but computers. I think, like I've said before, there was an IBM PC Junior on sale, and I was like, do I want to buy this? I mean, I like watching retro tech videos, but at the same time, I was like, okay, you don't have a whole lot of room in your room, and you don't know enough about tech to do anything meaningful with it. I mean, even if I had like a channel, like a YouTube channel, where I talked about old tech, I feel like it would be a struggle to make me make that video. But anyway, so I wound up not getting it. One of the reasons I placed an order for a new computer was because one reason is because I shoot. I feel like I already said it, so man, yeah. Sunday is always one of those days where you get home and it's like your brain kind of goes off. Even though I've had like a scoop of pre-workout, and it's the day before going back to work, and you're like, I want to do something, and you try to think, okay, I'm gonna do something for me, or I'm gonna do chores, and then you get on your bed and you're just scrolling on your phone. And I kind of feel like podcasts are like kind of the antithesis of that, or it's something to do. Like I've said before, doom scrolling is kind of like the search for a goal, but here's the goal, and once you do it, you're like, oh yeah, I did it. I got a message from CSL Plasma the other day. They're like, we haven't seen you in 6 months. How about you donate and you'll get $500 in 5 visits with your first month? And it's like, I really prefer BioLife. I still need to go get my donate that test that they require, because I've missed a couple weeks, and I'm like, dang, that's like, I could have had like $400 or something, $500. So I've got to get back on that because that's cash I'm missing. But oh yeah, yesterday. So yesterday I hung out at my uncle's, and one of the new things that I got to partake of was he has the Oculus headset, or the VR thing from Meta, and it was, I gotta say, it was pretty cool. Some of the detractors of it have said like it looks like graphics for like a PS2 game or something, and it's like, okay, I think in order for them to like, for it to span as worldwide as they want to, and because it's such a new venture, there are like certain concessions they're having to make. Like, it'd be like the worst thing for them to use like high polygon models and for it to be like super slow. I played like a test game, like a game that helps you orient yourself with the VR, and it was such a strange thing, because it was like I was looking around like I was like looking around in real life. The one thing that doesn't give it away is like it doesn't totally engulf your peripherals, so you do see like a little bit of, the black of the inside of the headset. But I was surprised. One thing that wasn't, like, me and my uncle spent like a long time trying to sync it up with my phone. It didn't work, but I was just impressed by the little bit that I did see. One funny thing is I knocked over his Alexa, but it was fine. Also forgot how good Pizza Hut pizza was. I mean, it's not like, God giving Moses the tablets or whatever, but it was like, that's obviously an over exaggeration, but it was like better than I remembered it being. And so, yeah, that was a nice surprise. And I got to show him some of those President AI memes, which those are always funny, and I probably talk about them too much. And it's funny. What is it? I'm 15 minutes into this podcast, and already I'm feeling more energized than if I had just laid on my bed and listened to like video game retrospectives, which is basically essentially what I do. But I guess doing something is way more energizing than consuming something. Which, speaking of consuming something, and maybe because I'm talking about pizza too much, I may just go get pizza. Or I might go to Smoothie King. Because I keep pushing it back of like, okay, am I going to go give a plasma sample so they can run a test on it and be like, you're all good to go. But yeah, like I keep putting it off, but I need to just go ahead and do it. Maybe Monday would be the right time. I mean, most people's days don't start off well anyway. But yeah, so I've got to I've got to do something. And what's interesting, so back to the laptop. When I get it, I will probably get a new Pinnacle Studios edition, because I got this one all the way back. I have Pinnacle Studio 20. I got that all the way back in 2016, and got that in 2020. Or no, 2016. 2016 is when I got Pinnacle Studio 20. I've had it ever since, and it was marginally better. It was a lot better than what I'd been using before, but even then it didn't take long for it to just slog. So yeah, plus I've seen like a lot of cool new features on the latest Pinnacle editions. Like as the years have gone by, like whenever I log into Pinnacle, they'll say like, hey, there's a new edition of Pinnacle. It can do this, this, and this. And in the latest ones that I've seen, Pinnacle can do this like cloning stuff. Like you can like just select a character in the video and it'll duplicate it. And I'm like, that's cool. And you can like mix backgrounds and stuff. It's really cool and makes the stuff that I've got right now limited in comparison. Also, I just need to get like, the big thing I'm hoping for is that like I can do a lot of real estate videos. Or no, well, I could probably do real estate videos, but do a lot of real estate photography, and maybe even get Unity or Unreal Engine on that computer if I wanted to, because I do have those on, well, I have Unity, 2 different versions on my laptop now, but it's horrendously slow. And the only thing I can do is, the one game engine I can use that doesn't lurch to a crawl is GDevelop. And GDevelop, they really changed stuff. They made each time like they add a new thing, it's like so much better. But yeah, last time, like a year or 2 ago, I wasn't able to like do an export to like where I can just play the game on my own computer. It would give me an HTML link and I'd have to click on that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, but now I can like try to make. I I need to make a better game than the last one I made. I mean, the last one I made, I kind of I made a playable game, but this one I need to do things like, make save files and do continues and everything. Um, the last thing I did was basically akin to Super Mario Land 1. So I guess the next thing I would do would be akin to Super Mario Land 2. So, man, kind of don't know what's up. Um, so, oh yeah, I've got an idea for a movie that I could make, and yeah, it's kind of weird, but anyway, um, it was one of those things where I'm like, oh man, that's too crazy of a movie. And I don't want to go into the specifics of it, but it was one of those things where I'm like, you just say like, huh, da 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 da, and then the idea sticks with you, and like, then like I think nothing of it. But as time goes on, I start adding more meat to the story. Like, I start to work out on the specifics, and I'm like, okay, and you start thinking like, well, what would that look like if you what would that look like if you were trying to get the actors and the sets and stuff together? And like, okay, we would just need to do this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Huh. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I might go ahead and do that. I also want to make a new video game. I know I probably just said that, but I just don't know what. Maybe it would be like the last thing I did, or I do want to do some sort of RPG on GDevelop, but that might be too difficult. Or I feel like there's a lot I'd have to figure out. Or maybe I just need to experiment. Anyway, who knows? Well, I guess this has been the David Wells experiment. I feel like I want to say more stuff, but like I'm kind of peering into my brain, and it's like, this one's good. This is basically just to keep myself going, prop myself back up. But anyway, have an absolutely lovely day. Love you all, and may all your dreams come true. Bye.